what's their view on the advantages of this technology? Access, liquidity, secondary markets, 24/7.
Yes, it's very different all over the world. I think there's two reasons for that I've really detected. The first one is the countries that had a big failure, a big crypto failure that impacted consumers, generated the hammers coming down effect from regulators where they're basically doing their job, right? So the two countries that are most opposed to all crypto kind of stuff, basically the US and South Korea, both the same places that had multi-tens of billions of dollars in consumer losses from terror in South Korea and FTX in the US. So both of those events very much color, I think, the thinking in those countries about what crypto is, what blockchain technology is an extension of that, and therefore what regulation can be about that technology. And it's very consumer protectionist focused, understandably so, because that market experienced very traumatic, negative thing that politically regulators have to deal with, right? So that's one of the first dynamics. Places where that hasn't happened, Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai hasn't had a big failure like FTX or Terra, are largely positive, right? So they've just been on a trajectory of gradual positivity. And then the other big factor that I see that separates these jurisdictions is whether they want to be a financial hub, right? So there are certain parts of the world where they have a domestic financial system, and the domestic financial system is involved in a local equities market and foreign direct investment activities. And it's kind of just like a part of the economy, and it's kind of there, but they build ships or they make grain, or the country does a whole bunch of stuff, right? And then there are places like Hong Kong, Singapore, and Dubai that position themselves and are basically based on being hubs, on being global hubs for shipping, asset ownership, legal entities, and digital assets, cryptocurrencies, right? So if your existence as a country, right, your point of existence or your goal, your strategy to exist in this world is to be a hub, and digital assets and cryptocurrencies are the next generation of how all value is secured, transferred, and managed, then yeah, so you want to be a hub for that. And so there's this big motivation in Dubai, Hong Kong, and Singapore to be that hub, both on a legal level, on a transactional level, on an issuance level, on a payments level, on all these levels. And I personally feel that all three of these regions will begin to transact with each other.
Okay.
And that's what we're kind of in the process of setting up. We're in the process of setting up transactions within each of those regions between the in-region entities and banks and asset managers, and getting them on systems that they're on the same system across regions, right? So ideally, there's banks, asset managers, Web3 startups on CCIP in Dubai, in Singapore, and Hong Kong, and they're transacting with each other in each region. And because they're on the same set of standards, they can also transact across regions. So that's the thing that I find very interesting.
That would be a great unlock. And my last question is how big this market can get. So right now we said, tokenized, we will